How do I share the gospel with quote unquote West Omaha people who are so successful that they don't see a need for God? They have no reason to rely on God. They see the testimonies of drug addicts, etc., that aren't to them, and they can't relate to it.
That's a great question. I think if that's the case for you, you should take the Reach One More training with Mary Claire Johnson, maybe even with the college ministry.
I would love to teach Reach One More with the college ministry.
And that'll train you about how to share your faith in a general sense. But let me give you the quick answer. One is everybody has a need for God, whether they express it or not. So when I think about the people who live in my neighborhood, whenever I get to know them, their lives look pretty good. As they're pulling in, putting up their garage door, they pull their car in, and I don't see them anymore except for waving for them. Their lives look pretty well put together. But when you get deep into somebody's life, you realize that everybody has their share of pain and dysfunction and needs and other problems that are going on in their life. And if they don't have those things now, they will have them in the next couple of years, because that's just the way that life works. Now, when you're talking about somebody who's more affluent, which I think is what this question is about, somebody who's more affluent and seems like they don't have all of the obvious needs out there, the needs that they have are still very real needs. Everybody needs a connection with God. Everybody needs community. Everybody needs forgiveness of sins. Everybody needs hope for their future. Everybody needs moral values and guidance for the way to live their life. And it doesn't matter how affluent or non-affluent you are, you need all of those things. As we live our lives with Jesus living through us, whether someone is high or low on the economic spectrum, they should see the power of God living through us in a way that has qualities that transcend affluence and go deep into what our character is like, what our relationships are like, what our love level is like. And even if somebody says, you know what, right now my life is fine, I don't need God in my life, you can stay in proximity to them, and as time goes by, questions will arise. Because we're human beings, and we're asking those fundamental questions of where did I come from? Where am I going? What does it mean to be human? What are relationships like? And as we ask those questions, we go deeper and deeper in life, and then you want to ask those questions of people who seem like they've got some answers that they've put together. And as we're in proximity with people, high affluence or low affluence, the power of God can be at work within us, and then we listen to the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit gives us ideas for how do we ask questions, how do we go deeper in conversations, how do we find out what people's felt needs are, and at that point we have opportunity to introduce theological principles that will help a person to take their next step spiritually.